This is the second battle I played in Walrus Jones tournament. This time I'm playing against Askia, and he has a very interesting army. I'll just go over my army first. My army consists of 4 Scythian Amazonian riders. I have 2 Cappadocians and 1 Sarmatian horse on each flank. In the center, 2 Syrian heavies with 5 Galatian legionaries and 2 levy freemen. So once again, only 5 melee units. Askia here though has 5 Eastern archers. He has 5 Iberian swords. He has 5 legionaries. He has, I believe, 2 Thureos and Galatian raiders, 2 Galatian raiders, and 3 Aspis Companion cavalry. And Aspis Companion, usually not a good idea. They are very expensive, they lose to cav, they can damage infantry, but not much better than shock cavalry. They do have some extended melee capabilities because of their armor and health, also a very high melee attack. But the reason why this is interesting is because them having swords makes my Sarmatian horse less useful than if this was standard cavalry. So I'm going to move up my Scythian Amazonians, push back the Galatian raiders, try to do a bit of damage to them, but you know I like to save my horse archer ammunition for late game, so I'm going to do that in this battle as well, because these Eastern archers can do a lot of damage to my Amazonians, and I don't feel like baiting volleys from a total of 5 archer units. That's not going to be a fun time for me at all. So I'm just going to pull my Amazonians back. I am tilting my lines ever so slightly here, and I'm doing this to create more distance between me and Askia's left flank there. Because of this Thureos on the flank, and because there's only 1 legionary there, I want to be able to smash this side of his army and then deal with the legionaries over here. Now, just in terms of what we have, my Galatian legionaries will destroy his legionaries. But if these Iberians somehow manage to start flanking and I take a lot of damage from the Eastern archers, I am in trouble. However, my Syrians love firing on unarmored archers. So I'm firing on these Eastern archers. They've gotten a kill and they have lost about 20 men. They are shaken already. Morale is a problem for them. Getting into 1 Eastern archer here with my Cappadocian, chasing away the Galatian raiders with the Cappadocian, and since I've hit charge speed, I'm going to be able to catch the Galatian raiders. Over here I'm sending up my levy freemen to bait precursors, bait fire, push back the Eastern archers. They managed to do that. There's a legionary following. Over here this Cappadocian cavalry is paying very handsomely for itself by destroying an archer unit and destroying the Galatian raiders. So the tilt in my lines has allowed me to get a bit more time for skirmishing, a bit more time for these decisive cavalry actions. Over here I'm going to move my levy freemen around, throw some volleys on the Eastern archers. I am going to be eating precursor fire on the levy freemen, but that is perfect. Rushing past the very thinly spread legionaries, getting into the Eastern archers. These levy freemen have done a great job for themselves. Now the follow-up, that was because I wanted to get my Cappadocians into the legionaries, flooring the entire unit, stopping it from throwing its precursors. I'm going to do the same thing over here, just charge straight into the Iberian swords. Iberian swords do not like being charged by cavalry whatsoever, so the Sarmatian horse take down a lot of them. Over here my levy freemen, precursors into the Aspis companions. No companions die, but I'm able to stop them. I'm actually able to get into several units of Aspis Companion here, get a flanking charge in with the Cappadocians, pull away the Syrian heavies, and get precursors off against this Aspis Companion. The Aspis Companion could break through my line here. That is why I always keep a cavalry unit in reserve, because if I didn't do that, these units would go bye-bye. So now the Aspis Companion is trapped, it's going down quickly, and that is 1 very expensive unit about to be off the field. Over here, my Galatian legionaries fighting, doing well for themselves against these legionaries. You can see how quickly the legionary that took damage from the cav charge, it just dies almost instantly. Now the Cappadocians, the Sarmatians over here, they're taking a bit of friendly fire. They're taking fire from from the archers, I'm sure, and now they die, but I have more cavalry to spare, getting them in here against the Iberian swords. Of course, the Galatian legionaries up against Tereos. Tereos have no chance. My general is busy finishing off this Aspis companion. I have a free unit over here, while I'm able to keep the Scythian Amazonian riders in reserve. I basically haven't fired with them yet. Very nicely done here, getting the Galatian raiders into these Galatian legionaries, taking a bit of friendly fire here from the Iberian swords. So I'm just going to let the Galatian legionary lose this combat over here, because like I planned, I am smashing this flank completely. The Galatian legionaries destroying Iberian swords. Now there are 3 units here. I can send the Levy freeman in against the Aspis companion general, get some precursors off, not killing anything, shield wall on the Galatian legionaries to make it harder to pull out, but Askia is being smart, he's pulling out directly. A bit of a problem in my back here with Galatian raiders getting into the Syrian heavy archers, but I have 2 cav units, so the Galatian raiders should go down momentarily. Losing over here with the Galatian legionaries. They are taking fire from multiple directions, but so are the legionaries here. So taking a quick inventory of my army, at this point I see that there's nothing Askia can do really. I have a few legionaries left, three units of legionaries, 1 is wavering. So I can just hold here against the Iberian swords, send my legionaries in, finish off these Iberians. The Aspis companion charges in. It's going to do a lot of damage here to my Galatian legionaries, even in extended melee. But once again, I have support nearby. These Iberian swords pushing through the center, no doubt wanting to javelin my general. The Cappadocians are going to deny them that opportunity. Medium melee infantry without armor is going to get wrecked on the charge by cavalry. It's not as bad as in Attila, but it's pretty bad for them. Breaking Iberian swords over here. And I'm starting to surround him now. I don't think I'm firing much with these. Nope, I have fire at will turned off. So I haven't used my horse archers yet. And there is nothing to threaten them here in the late game. Just a few units of Eastern archers. But the Eastern archers are getting wrecked now by this Cappadocian cavalry unit. The Iberian swords losing decisively against the Galatian legionaries. I still have ammunition left on my Syrian heavies. And the general here is about to be trapped momentarily. Another charge by the Sarmatian horse into Iberian swords. It's going to give them a lot of nice kills. The Sarmatian horse have a slightly higher armor penetration than standard cavalry units, but they have a lower bonus, lower bonus than the Cappadocians of 15. So the Sarmatian horse slightly better against enemy infantry, I think. In this blob here, mass charges against the Aspis companions and the Eastern archers, getting out before the legionaries start killing stuff. And now these units in the center are completely surrounded. There's nothing they can do. The Cappadocians get into the Aspis companion. The Aspis companions have great morale, but they are concerned since the army around them is disappearing. Legionaries about to get charged by Galatian legionaries. Galatian legionaries are going to destroy the legionaries with ease. Same thing is going to happen over here as well. Just sweeten the pie a bit with a charge from the Sarmatian horsemen. Try to get them at over 200 kills. Always nice when that happens. But it looks like they are going to be just shy of 200 kills. So maybe they could get there. Nope, they didn't manage to. But good game. I fired a bit with my Scythians, but they mostly had full ammo left. The heavy lifting was done by the cavalry in this fight, and that is exactly the way I wanted it to. But this particular army, very difficult to use, because it's difficult to get cav superiority. It's difficult to protect these Eastern archers, and they are very easily countered. And of course the Iberian swords, although they get some kills, very hard to make use. Now I do question using legionaries, because they are not good mainline infantry for Rome. They are far below the legionary cohort, they're far below the Evocatis, they're far below the veteran legionaries, and also bringing Aspis Companion. One Aspis Companion costs about the same as 2 Sarmatian horse, and in every single scenario I want to have 2 Sarmatian horse or 2 other mid-tier cavalry compared to 1 elite cavalry. So I think Askia gave me a bit of an easy time here with his army. I have twice the amount of kills he has with his army, although I deployed less men. I didn't lose very much in this battle, and I think it just comes down to, in this particular case, Askia having a decidedly weaker army than what I brought. Strength and honor. Oh, by the way, my final game in this series is going to be against Obelix. If Obelix wins, he advances to the semifinals. If I win, I advance. So it's going to be dramatic and exciting. Strength and honor.